Yo, I just peed for like 4 minutes straight. Oh, how is there that much fluid in my body? It's ridiculous.
Nice.
Cool. Right, where were we? So my things that I don't like about wrestling.
Do you want to split up into like I did, like shows you watch and then shows you're a part of?
Yeah. Well, for wrestling, I watch. Probably. The weird, creepy fans are just so toxic. It actually kind of puts me off wrestling sometimes.
Twitter wrestling fans, especially.
Yeah, did you see that there was somebody who pretended to be Brody Lee's son?
No, I didn't see that, and that's
Yeah, and got like tens of thousands of followers before somebody realized, oh, this isn't actually Brody's son. Please stop following him. We're going to block him. And and you've seen the comments that some quote unquote wrestling fans will leave on female wrestlers' Instagram and Twitter posts, and it's just, really, they can be amazing wrestling fans. They can do great things when they come together, but they can also be really aggressive and toxic, and can generally make the wrestlers want to quit wrestling.
I don't understand the fans that make role playing accounts where they pretend to be wrestlers.
Yeah, when they pretend to be like a female wrestler, like,
or even male wrestlers, like people pretending to be Jeff Cobb.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
So yeah, that's my least favorite thing. As I say, there are some incredible fans. It's the same with anything that has a like Star Wars fans are the same, or I'm sure Doctor Who fans are the same. Like it's the same with anything. When you get like super fans, you also get super aggressive fans and super snobby fans. They can be very toxic. When it comes to shows that I've taken part of or wrestling myself, things I don't like. I don't like the feeling that I'm not big enough. I'm not lean enough. I don't look good enough. I get a lot of imposter syndrome. Like I don't feel like I should be on this show. I'm not good enough to share the ring with this guy. What am I in the ring with this guy? So yeah, I get that a lot.
Image part of wrestling. Yeah.
But we discussed that on last week's episode.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that horrible, terrifying feeling that I might injure somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not so much I worry about me getting hurt. It's, oh my God, what if I accidentally deal around somebody and paralyze them for life?
I think everyone goes through that, where it's like, well, that's part of wrestling, is the trust.
Yeah, which is like my move offense doesn't involve anything where I drop. I guess my German suplex, but like anything that involves like a power driver or a Death Valley driver or anything where the opponent essentially lands on their like neck or head area is like super scary to me. So I don't think I'll ever really include many of those moves.
Yeah, but I think one of the aspects is really good about the Portsmouth Schools wrestling is they won't let you do things like that unless they have faith in you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like I do a package power driver as a finish, but I practice that every week at training before. I've never done it on a show because our school wouldn't let us. And not in the sort of like, they do it in a purely for security reasons, and I completely respect that.
So yeah, that's mine. Moving to the next question. Frilligan Milligan asks, video games you associate with your childhood or games you remember loads as a kid? Go ahead, because I'm trying to think of mine.
So my first console was the Super Nintendo, and I have a lot of fond memories of playing Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And don't laugh at this game because it was a banger, Goof Troop on the SNES, which not a lot of people know about it, but Goof Troop was made by the team that made Resident Evil, or at least the same director. And it's like a co-op, I don't know what you'd call it, sort of like puzzle game.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome.
But you say that, but loads of Disney games were bangers back then. Like Aladdin was awesome.
Oh yeah, Lion King.
DuckTales was cool.
Oh, DuckTales has a fantastic soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bomberman. I always had fun playing the Bomberman games.
God, how is he not showing up in Smash Brothers? Like,
I
thought he'd
there's
be
always
a perfect
teasers.
Smash Brothers character.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what they're actually doing with that franchise.
I know. Do you remember? Did you remember when it went like super serious? Was it Bomberman Zero or something?
Oh, on the Xbox.
Yeah, they tried to make it like really mature.
Yeah. In the year 3000, everyone comes to having bomb arenas.
Yeah.
No. Like, give me the cartoony stuff where they ride on kangaroos and kick each other in the face.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah. I think the games I used to play a lot were like platformers or action games. So like Tomb Raider was big on the PlayStation. I liked arcade games as well. Like,
what's your favorite arcade game?
I love going to the arcade, and I love Time Splitters too.
They had that on the arcade?
Yeah, in arcade, yeah. No, sorry, not Time Splitters 2, sorry, Time Crisis 2.
Oh, I was going to say, Time Splitters, the sequel to
I love Time Splitters 2, though. That is one of my all-time favorite games, and I wish someone would reboot that series. Like, give it the doom. There is a team of independent developers that have gone through the assets of 1, 2, and 3 and are making like a best of.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And
they've shown off some of their stuff, and it looks really promising, but it's one of those things that it will probably take years. I love Earthbound, the Mother series. I have a copy.
Everybody raves about it, but I've never played it.
It depends how into your JRPGs you are. Like, it is like a...
I don't think I've ever played a JRPG.
Oh, okay. I really like it, and I have a boxed copy from Japan, which I love. I have fond memories of Mario Party on the N64.
Yeah.
I'm just going through every game I've ever played now, but yeah, I love Nintendo and PlayStation. But I did have an Xbox 360, and I enjoyed Gears of War and Halo. And yeah, most of my gaming today consists of playing games that I played when I was a kid.
Nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah, but I am playing Dead by Daylight now, which is, I don't know if you've played that game.
Oh, it's the where you can either play as like Jason Voorhees or like a slasher monster thing, right?
Yes.
And,
yeah.
So people are playing as like the victims of the slasher monster.
Yeah, right? So you have killers and survivors, and the survivors have to power up generators to escape, and the killers have to kill the 4 people before they can escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fun, and they're very short games. They take like maybe 15, 20 minutes. The survivors play in third person while the killer plays in first. So it's easier for it's when you watch high level players, it's completely unbalanced. But when you play as a newbie, it's kind of fair, except for the one killer which can turn invisible, which makes the game impossible if you're a survivor, because the killer just turns invisible all the time and kills you. What about you? What you started with? Did you say an Atari?
Amiga,
that's the one. I knew it was
I'm trying to think it was on the Amiga. A lot of they did a port of Golden Axe that was actually pretty good on the Amiga. Played that to death.
Arcade beat 'em ups are great.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Pugsy, which was kind of like a platform puzzler.
Yeah.
Dizzy, which again, another platform puzzler.
Dizzy was an egg, wasn't he?
Yes, he was an egg with like boxing gloves and big red boots. And
Retro Gamer magazine loved to talk about Dizzy.
Yeah. But didn't really, can't really remember any until I got my first proper console, which was the N64. And then it was just GoldenEye for days. Oh my goodness.
That was so much fun.
I have no idea how we played 4-player multiplayer on a tiny little portable TV.
Yeah.
It's just, like, the frame rate was like 10 frames, but probably not even that. Like, it was like a Microsoft Excel presentation or slideshow presentation. absolutely chugging along, but like I don't remember that being an issue whatsoever. Like we didn't care.
No, because like even like when you look at how fast games run now, like, and then you look at the American versions always ran way faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, GoldenEye, just sitting. Oh, I miss that. Like, I don't think any game can ever capture that sort of magic again. Online will never capture that magic, but yeah.
It's a shame that kind of couch multiplayer has kind of died a bit. But yeah, GoldenEye and Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
I love that game.
God, yeah, I must have put like 30 or 40 hours into playing that game. Good grief. And then WWF No Mercy was another frequent in my console. Again, just played season mode, played just like straight up exhibition mode over and over again, made loads of characters, spend loads of time on the creator wrestler. Just, yeah, as a wrestling fan.
I do wonder, how did I spend so much time on those stuff now?
Yeah.
When I look at like how much time I have now, and it's like, no.
It's like we were saying last week, like about or the week before, sorry, about create a wrestler mode in games now. You literally have to spend like an hour creating a wrestler and then doing all the moves and then doing all the entrance stuff. And it's just so incredibly deep and detailed now, which is awesome that you can, like, people who've got time to do that can put their creator wrestlers up online and you can just download them and get a good creator wrestler of somebody who's not in the game, you know, super quickly. But yeah, you can't really justify that time these days, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, what other questions have we got? Ewan McDonald asks, wrestling seminars you've done in the past.
I was going to say, should we save that one for like its own dedicated episode? Because we've done quite a few, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
So I think that could make a whole episode.
Okay, we'll save that one for later. We'll put that one in the bank.
Because that is a damn good question. Because I miss seminars. Like that is, there've been seminars that I wanted to go to and missed out on, and I completely regret.
Yeah, because that as well. I could have had seminar with Finn Balor.
Yeah, it seems that there was a time where anyone who would do a seminar with us would get signed.
Yeah.
Like Finn did one, got signed like shortly afterwards. Drew did one and got signed. So if any professional wrestlers are listening, come do a seminar and the Fed will sign you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What else have we got here? Callum Cornell asks, how much of a bop my theme is?
I will say this, Callum. It's by an artist called Carpenter Brute.
Never Teeth, correct?
Yes, and I would say I love Carpenter Brute, and that I would put like he has like 5 other songs I put before it, but it is a bop.
Sounds like something out of Cyberpunk or something.
When I was going to debut and I got to choose my song, I did pick Carpenter Brute as well. I picked Turbo. No, did I pick Turbo Killer? No, I picked Roller Mobster, but I didn't get to use it because I can't remember why. So they stole my artist from me, and I want it back.
I've never heard of somebody referring to something as a bop either. Usually it's a tune. Am I so out of touch?
I haven't heard it, but I don't know. Like, yeah, when you say good song, I don't like. I've heard banger.
I'd say this is a tune or a banger. Yeah.
I sometimes, if it's like so awesome, I might call it wizard because I like calling things wizard.
Whoa.
And more people need to say wizard.
That's only for S tier songs,
yes.
though.
Yeah. Oh, can I mention this? Yeah. So you published a playlist on Twitter this week.
Oh yeah.
And that blew my mind because I was talking to someone and they recommended me a bunch of she basically said to me that she really liked AFI, so I should listen to the album Crash Love.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I really like old AFI, like All Hallows and sing the sorrow and that. And I was like, I'm going to listen to it. And I literally spent all week listening to AFI, and no one else I've spoken to in like the years has talked about AFI. And then you published that playlist, and I was like, what? Out of all the weeks it could have been. Yeah.
They've got a hell of a catalogue. They've got like so many songs. Are they still going AFI or
Yes.
Is they,
Yeah, they released the Blood album a couple of years ago.
They've got tons of albums.
And they're all really good. Like The Boy Who Destroyed the World, which was in Tony Hawk 2 or Tony Hawk 3, is an amazing song. And they're one of those bands that people listen to and probably know one of their songs, but they just don't know it's AFI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to check Twitter to see what other responses we had.
Sensational Simon says we should talk about Knobs.
I mean, I have one.
The new old boys?
Oh,
Nasty Old Boys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant the body part. Okay. I had a whole...
Yeah.
Brian Knobs and Sags, is it? Knobs and Sags.
Those are the Nasty Boys. He's talking about the new Nasty Old Boys, which is, I think, his tag team along with Dirty Dave Dennis.
Oh, you've pinned them both.
Yes, I've pinned them both simultaneously, twice.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
take a hell of a double spear.
Yeah. You're like Goldberg at that point. So let's just bring those guys out and you can double spear them.
Yeah.
No,
but it was great working against them both times. Very easy opponents to work with. I very much would like to work with them again. And you've tagged with them, so they're essentially
we all had black and red gear and we didn't plan it, and it was creepy. We all just turned up and we were like, we've all got new gear. Oh, it's all black and red.
Works.
And that was that Survivor Series show where you pinned everyone.
2 minutes or less.
Yeah.
And that goes back to like imposter syndrome. Like I like to call it Jinder Mahal syndrome. When when you feel like you're winning and you shouldn't really be winning. But
oh, that was with, speaking of, wasn't that with New Wave? Didn't you team with New Wave on that show?
With New Wave in that
yeah, I have a funny story about that match, which was they wanted to do a double team move to me. And so we get to the venue and they're like, oh, we have this really cool move we want to do. And I was like, all I heard during it was flip a bump. And I was like, no, I'm not taking this move. I'm not going to let you flip bump me. And they were trying to talk me into it. And for some reason, I don't know. I'm going to put it on me, but they were explaining this move. But in my head, my brain just couldn't process this move they wanted to do to me. And then eventually something happened. I don't know what. And they just showed me a video of the move. And I was like, oh, you just want me to fall backwards. While so it was like one of them does a springboard blockbuster.
Oh, yeah, George does it. Yeah. I think he did it in the match.
Yeah, and they had to talk me into that for the longest time because all I heard in my head was me doing flip bump onto my neck. And
well, you could have started like that if you're like Dolph Ziggler, but yeah.
Yeah, I had no clue what they were going for, and when they were explaining it just couldn't work out in my head. And then we did it, and it was awesome, except George nearly slipped. But yeah, that was a good match.
I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, me and Callum? Who was it? It was you. Oh, Buff Daddy.
Buff Daddy was the fourth member.
Yeah, for what we had, it was a fun match. Yeah.
Cool. What else have we got here?
That was the first match I debuted in biker shorts as well.
Your red and black one. Yeah. Of course,
yeah, because before that I was wearing tights and I always thought I looked like a, I don't know, cheap indie wrestler. And yeah, those were the first time I felt like I kind of maybe looked like a semi-decent pro wrestler. And yeah.
You're sticking with them going forward, I take it?
Yeah, I have a friend working on some branding for me, so I might get new ones with an actual logo and some stuff on. Yeah,
I got, just before lockdown, I got custom tights. I haven't had a chance to wear them yet. So,
oh, do you walk around the house like I do and just go, I'm a wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should also talk about Rob the Gob Lias, apparently.
I would love I don't know if you saw the tweet, but I told him to come onto the show, and he was like, he likes me, so he might do it.
Yeah, we due another guest, aren't we? I'd love to have him on the show.
And I don't know his story, so it would be.
No, neither do I.
Have I ever worked with Rob the Gob? No, I don't think I've ever been in the ring with Rob the Gob.
No, neither have I. I don't think even in training I have.
That's one thing, because there's some people that, you know, we've been at the school for years, but I've only been in the ring with James Castle once in a tag team. Actually, no, I've been with him twice, once in a tag team and once in an actual show, and that was last minute. He wasn't supposed to be on. But I want to work with him more because I feel like every time I do a wrestle with him, I learn something. Gideon.
Oh god, yeah, everybody wants to Gideon. My goodness.
I wrestled him once, and it's the only time I've done a match as a babyface, and it was so good and it was so fun. And I can say, like, that was the first time I had a match, and I was like, I actually held my part there. But I don't like working. I don't know. I've never worked as a babyface that much, so I don't know how much I like it. And
yeah,
I sort of feel uncomfortable being a babyface. I don't know what it's like for you.
I don't feel I'm naturally inclined to be babyface, but the trainers at our school are adamant that I should be a.
I think it's easy for you because you have that build and you look like a tough wrestler. You can get away with being. You do. You have the build where someone can look at you and go, "He's a wrestler. He's tough." But while if I try to be a babyface, they're like, "Oh, he looks like a wuss, so he's not going to fire up." But if you fire up, I believe it. So I think you work as the fiery babyface.
I'd love to work heel, but
I think everyone thinks.
Yeah, everybody. It seems like everybody wants to be a heel when they start wrestling school. You don't get many people who want to be a baby,
which is actually the worst thing to do, because when you're a face, the heel can guide you more.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a heel and you're new, it's hard for the babyface to be like, all right, do this to me, do this to me, do this to me, because you're wandering around. You can, like, so funny story. I was once, someone said to me, after my first match, someone said to me, because I had that big reaction, I'm not going to say who it was, but someone looked at me and they said, I don't think I can ever see you as a baby face. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of, I can't remember how they worded it, but the message I got from was, from the way I look, from my face, they can't see me as a baby face based on my face.
Your face is that unlikable.
Pretty much.
You are destined to be a heel for the rest of your life.
That's kind of what they said. And then I was in Japan December 2018 when I went out there to go train at a dojo. And I was talking to someone there that was they weren't in wrestling, but they were a fan of wrestling. And they looked at me and they said, you're the perfect baby face. And I was like, yeah, okay. And they were like, yeah, you could never be a bad guy here.
Oh.
And I was like, what the hell? I need to move here.
I think you could be a good baby face, especially with your comedy antics.
Thank you.
I definitely think you could be a baby face.
So yeah, I'm looking at going over there to try do a dojo system for a couple months, because Taka Michinoku has his own school now.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a place called the Tap Out Dojo, I think it's called.
So how would you get 2 months off work?
So I've been working there 5 years now, so I can take a sabbatical, I think it's called. Is it?
Okay, cool.
So I might do that, just go over there, train for 3 months.
That's incredible.
Because I feel like that's the kind of thing I need to do, or I will regret it forever.
Yeah.
I regret that the last dojo thing I signed up for cancelled on me.
Oh, I didn't realize you signed up for this before. What was that?
Have I not told this? Okay, so December 2018, I was going over to go see Wrestle Kingdom, and I was like, I'm going to be there for like 2-3 weeks. I will email the Wrestle One dojo, and they were allowing foreign trainees. So I messaged them and I said, look, here's my resume. I'm training with Portsmouth School Wrestling, Rev Pro. I have X number of years experience. I've done X number of years of shows. Can I come and have 2 weeks in your dojo? And the guy messaged back and he said, sure, come down. I said, I'll be there from Boxing Day till this day. I would love to have as much training as possible. And the guy was like, sure, cool, amazing. So we messaged back and forth for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then I was like, oh, awesome. How much is this going to cost me? And then he stopped messaging me.
Oh.
Excuse me. Never got back to me at all. And I was like, surely you want to take my money before you stop talking to me.
Yeah, that's typically the first thing a wrestling promoter want.
Yeah.
Talk about is the money, but
so and then this is gonna sound so lame, but I said to my mum, I was like, send them an email and see if they start talking to you. And they did, until my mum was like, cool, where do you do this and how much will it cost? And again, they just stopped messaging her. And at this point, I'd bought my plane ticket and I was going out there. And I was like, oh, that's lame. And this was like the week before I was flying out. They just decided to stop talking to me.
Yeah.
And then Wrestle One folded, and last year, I think, or this year or something. But yeah, apparently they had the dojo and they shared it with what's the Stardom.
Right.
So like, I know people that have gone over and trained there, and I was just like really bummed out. And that's like really, I'm like, I need to go there and I need to have at least, I'd love to have a match. That's my goal. I want to do before I die, is to have a match at Kurikan Hall.
Ooh.
But just to go over there and train at a dojo for a month or so would be amazing. So that's what I'm trying to do.
I considered doing it with Germany, going over and, well, it'd only be like 2 weeks, but I know other guys have been over to Germany to train. I know Sky Smithson has.
Yeah. What, the WXW?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
So, yeah, but again, first things first, let's get things open.
Yeah.
Back training over here before we even start thinking about that. So,
yeah. How did we get onto that?
Yeah, I have no idea how we got onto that.
I got onto that from Rob the Gob.
Yeah. Is there any other topics you want to talk about before we?
I'm just trying to see. Is there any more questions on that thing? No, the seminar thing I think would make a pretty damn good topic itself. We might do that next week then.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, you also started another podcast this week. Do you want to plug that before we go?
Oh, yeah. So I recorded that years ago, like a year and a bit ago, and trying to get out. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So finally got that done because I finally got the artwork for it. So it's called Hammer, Howard and Aiden's Most Excellent Reviews. We discuss horror movies and make fun of. It's sort of like, did you ever listen to Brian and Vinny show?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, if you haven't, it's like OSW then, where they go through the whole show and pick it apart and make fun of it, sort of thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, because OSW have said many times that they ripped off the Brian and Vinny show, so I sort of ripped off the Brian and Vinny show. So we go through horror movies. So each week, one of us picks a movie, we watch it, and we review it immediately after watching it. And we go like throughout the whole movie, the whole plot, everything, make fun of it and sort of have laughs and stuff. And episode 1 launched yesterday, and it's Friday the 3rd. No, sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. And yeah, and my friend at Snooty Studios, Abby, made me awesome podcast art in like a week, less than a week. I basically just said, can you make it look like an old horror movie poster? And it looks like a Hammer horror movie poster.
Cool.
And we have you got us some new artwork for this podcast.
Callum Corbett designed us a flashy new logo. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Because my one was terrible. And I made it in like 5 minutes on Photoshop. So we've got something a bit more professional looking now. Which is...
Well, for something that you've done on Photoshop, it didn't look half bad.
Yay. I haven't touched Photoshop since I designed my trunks. So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the podcast world is evolving. We are moving. We are growing.
Yes. Where can you find your podcast? It's on Spotify.
Spotify. If you just search Howard and Aiden, it's the first thing to come up, I think. I'm trying to get it to the point where if you put Hammer, Hamer, I want it to come up. Because its name is sort of like, we came up with the name Howard and Aiden's Most Excellent Reviews, and it just so happened that it spelled out Hammer, like Hammer Horror.
Perfect.
And I was like, oh, I love that. So we're going to keep that. Because before that, I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, we recorded it like a year and a bit ago, but it's just taken that long for things to work out where it can get published and stuff. So yeah, that's finally up. And yeah.
Awesome. So everybody listen to Aiden's Stream podcast.
And follow my Twitch channel, TaylorMade Aiden Taylor, where I'm
Are you still Tomb Raider 2?
I finally started recording with time, so it take my personal best at the moment is 1 hour and 33 minutes.
What's the world record?
48 minutes. Yeah,
you got a ways to go, Aiden. You got ways to go.
I know, but their records, the ones that they've done in one shot, so they do it all one go. While me, like, if they die at any point, they just start from the very beginning again.
Oh, okay.
While I'm doing it, like, I just want to complete a run. So yeah, but I'm getting like a ton of support from like the Tomb Raider community now.
Oh, awesome.
And my channel has like been growing steadily every time I do a run, and it's really encouraging, and yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. Kenneth Halfpenny's trying to launch his Twitch channel.
What's he playing?
I think he wants to be playing Banjo and Kazooie.
Oh, I love that. That's another one that is my childhood, Banjo and Kazooie.
Yeah, because we both watched this speed run of Banjo Kazooie, and she can do it like 100% in 2 hours.
God, that's insane.
Yeah, so
especially with the amount of stuff you have to collect in that game. It's a hell of a collectathon. Yeah,
she's really good at it. And Kenneth Halfpenny and me both watch her, and he's got an N64, and he recently bought Mario Party 2.
Oh, cool.
He's playing that. I think like we should get together on. You can get emulators that play online.
That'd be incredible.
So we should do that and play some Mario Party 2 sometime. If
you can figure out how to work it, I'd be well up for that.
Yeah. Cool. But have you got anything you want to plug?
No, just my Instagram, Benjamin Black Wrestling, my Twitter, Benjamin Black PW. Check it out. I'm trying to be more and more active on there as I can.
Brian Cage is liking you.
Brian Cage is liking me.
So if you don't,
is liking me.
Yeah.
Showing my progress pictures, which is a hell of a rub. I appreciate that. So yeah. Other than that, no, I got nothing else.
Cool.
Well, we'll wrap it up for this week. Nando's, please sponsor us. Thank you for listening to another episode of Getting to Grapped With. Play us out, Aiden.
There you go.
Beautiful.